Good evening, everybody. Happy Friday. 6 days till Christmas, I believe, is the countdown, I think. I'm not 100% sure. Hope you guys have all had a great week. Just kind of waiting for everything to get caught up. Go live here, making sure you can hear me. I think I heard myself there, so that means I know the volume's working. So that's good. We'll turn that down. So I have a little different setup today. I have my camera over on my desk instead of in front of me, which is easier because I can reach it. I got a guest here in the craft room listening with me across the way. Hi, Brandon. How are you? So we are going to play with some of the new release. My post office finally decided to deliver. Hi, Kate. I'm going to go ahead and switch my other camera around. Maybe. There we go. I just have some perfect blend paper here. I'm going to go ahead and cut this down to 6 inches by 6 inches. Tonight, we are going to play with the stencil of the month and one of the small, hi Kelly, small add-on stamp sets and maybe the box stamp. We'll see. So I'm going to cut down a piece of perfect blend paper. And I have the stencil of the month, which is called Rustic Patchwork. It is a layering stencil. So there are 3 layers. I am good, Brandon. Thank you. There are 3 layers. And we're going to make some Christmas quilts. Hi, Miss Luann. How are you? I don't think it necessarily matters which one you want to start with. So I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and I want to just lay this out and kind of look how I want to do this. I've got some red and some green inks, which usually don't blend well together, but we're going to use them anyway. So first thing we're going to do is grab some tape, repositional tape, and tape that down on my desk and put my paper down. And then I'm going to go ahead and just lay this down on here. And I am going to tape it down instead of use my magnets. I can use my magnets too. Oh, there's my lid. But my hand tends to get in the way. So I'm going to go ahead and just tape it down like this. All right, so I'm going to start with the red ink, I think. And this is just the Bee Sting Stellar ink. And then I'll grab a blending brush, maybe. I got a new marker stand for my Olo markers this week, but I need to get a blending brush stand. And I haven't ordered that yet. So I'm going to go and not worry about going over the edges a little bit at all. I'm just going to go ahead and blend it in. This is the Bee Sting, like I said. Not tapping it off or anything, just going to go for it. Get some darker and lighter spots. I think sometimes we overthink. Hello, Amanda. Happy Friday. I think sometimes we overthink our crafting. So I'm just going to go for it. So what I'm going to do, and I'm kind of hitting my stencil off to the side, but not going to worry about it terribly much. I did link down below a couple of the items I knew I was going to use tonight. Those are affiliate links, which just mean if you place an order using one of those links, I get a small commission, which helps bring content. I also wanted to say, I think I forgot to link that on the Brutus Monroe page, but my page, which is Candi Bee Sugar Cards, I have the first 8 days of the Advent calendar up. 7 days. I can't remember exactly how many days I have up. But I have them done. I have through day 9 done. I have day 10 sitting right here. So those will be ready to go. And you can also go to... I do have a website, Instagram, and a blog that has all of those on if you want to watch them. Okay, so next I'm going to take this stencil because this stencil lines up real nice because I didn't mark it at all. But it lines up, the triangles line up real nice. So I'm going to go ahead and just line that up and tape that down. Because I should have probably put a little, let's do that this time. Put a little mark. I'll do a mark here and I'll do a mark here. That way I can line up the next one easier. And this one we're going to do green, and I'm going to use Christopher's favorite. And you know, when he says it, it makes me want to say it. 4. So it just makes me say it that way every time I see it. That's how I think of it. I think of it in Christopher's voice saying that. And so I'm going to go ahead and use that. And I might grab a different green for the other one. We'll see. But I thought it would be fun. Hi, Walter. How are you? Oh, thank you, Luann. I've been having fun creating them. I can give some sneak peeks. We can do some sneak peeks at the end. I can show the ones of, well, not sneak peeks. I can show some of the cards that I've made. I did see on the event page, there is the countdown to Valentine's Day box was live. I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you guys that, but I saw it. So I'm telling you. Cat's out of the bag. So I was going to purchase that today because I am super excited to count down to make Valentine's Day cards. I don't give Valentine's Day cards much out now that, you know, my kids are grown and farther away. I give my honey one, of course, but I love making these advent calendars. They've been really fun. I think I'm going to do, trying to decide how I want to do this one. I'm thinking I might do 2 green and 2 red and just that make it work for me. Hello, Tamara. Did I say that, or Tamara? I don't know if I said that right. I apologize, whichever way. I'm going to do the green at the top. Thank you for joining us, the sub. I hope you've enjoyed. Have you had you guys have a favorite so far of all of the ones that I've been making? I think the shaker card was one of my favorites so far. But I was kind of behind. I planned on getting a lot of them done before last weekend. And of course I didn't. So last night, I told Mom, I said, I got to go up to my craft room and do a video or 2. And it came down. I said, I got 3 done. She's like, what? I said, yes. I said, no. So I got today. Today was up a little late. I'm glad to be here from Hampton, Virginia. Well, welcome. Welcome, welcome. I'm Candi. I'm in to the slim line for today. Those were your favorite, Luann. Those turned out better than I expected. I am the inspiration team leader for Brutus Monroe. I have been with Brutus Monroe almost 6 years on the design team. I love the team. I love the company. I love Christopher and Heather and Jess and Sam and Miss Sharon and Natalia and everybody. And I suppose I should put Chris Eccles and Nick in there too. I think I said Sam. Anyone I missed, I apologize. But I love working with them and having a great time. So hello, Jamie. They are, yes. So, okay. So here is time for the reveal. Are you ready? All of them are great. They are. All of them are awesome. Here is the reveal. So here is our pattern called Rustic Pattern. And of course, we're going to cut this down. You know, that's okay. Now, you could do this on colored cardstock and do different blues. Hello, Anne-Marie. Like, do blue, and you could do some different other color blues to blend in, and you'd have one monochromatic. That's a mouthful for me tonight. And you could also use some glazes and things like that. But I just kind of did plain tonight. So I'm going to go ahead first and chop down the edges. Cut off that stuff that we don't want. And then we'll decide how we're going to make this card. Now, I am usually, you guys know me, I usually use my paper trimmer. But I'm going to show, and I'm still going to use my paper trimmer. But I'm going to show you a little trick that I was thinking about. I know I've seen Jennifer McGuire do this before, and I've seen Gina do this before. I'm going to grab a rectangle die from my stash. See if I can find one here. I just want a plain rectangle. And I'm not finding those. So we'll just grab these Lawn Fawn. We're not going to die cut them out, but what you can do is take a rectangle die. So this would be just a little bit smaller, and you can go ahead and put it on there and just play and see what my card looks like. and see if there's an area you like more than the other. I can do it down here. We can do it this way. We can do it right in the middle. I don't necessarily want to do right in the middle, I don't think, because I don't like that it cuts off too much of that pattern. I'm thinking we're just going to go kind of off to the side here a little bit. I'll see. Yeah, kind of more like this. So I'm not going to die cut tonight. I'm going to go ahead and use my paper trimmer just because my die cut machine, I moved it over there. You guys know me. I've been rearranging my craft room now for a month. So we're going to go ahead and let's cut this side down first. I'm just going to cut it down a little bit, cut off a little bit of those points. And then we're going to come over here and go to about 4 inches. Actually, I'm going to go over to 4 1/4, I think. So that way we have a little bit of that pattern here. And we can cut just a little bit of that off on this side. All right, so that way we still have this pattern on this side, and we can see that this green one isn't too oblong, like it's out of sync. Because if we cut too much of that down, it's going to look like there's green without red. And then we'll go here and we're going to cut this down a little bit. I'm going to cut a little bit off each side to get to 5 1/4. That looks about close. So there's our base for our card. And then we need a card. Now I'm going to tell you, I got these in the mail today and I haven't used them yet. So I got the pre-scored top folding card bases. I know you guys have been waiting for them. I did not link this because I kind of forgot about that. I was getting these. I've been dying to get them in. I've had them on my order for a bit, but like I said, the post office decided to take a while to get to me. So let's get one of them out. Ta-da! Look at how great these are. That was awesome. And so we can do this now. This is a little boring to me because I don't like the color. So we're going to go through and I'm going to go and grab a couple of our card stocks. And I'm thinking the billiard, if I say that right, if I can find it. This is Meadow, and I think Meadow is too light. And I know I just had the billiard out, but I might not have put it away properly. So I might not be able to use that tonight. Billiard. Let's see if I've got a couple packs of the rainbow. Let's see if I can find it in there. I should have pulled my card stack out. There it is. See the billiard? I like that. It's a little bit different green. It's not quite perfect. So what we could do instead, see how dark it's they're not quite the same because I use the 4, but they coordinate well. And when you're quilting, usually your patterns can coordinate. So I'm thinking I'm going to use that billiard anyway. Because we could take the Meadow and we could ink blend it and make it match perfectly. But I'm not all about perfect match. Okay. So let's cut that down. I hope everybody is ready for the holidays. It's going to be a fairly quiet one here in my household, but I'm okay with that. Usually on a holiday when both of us are off, we like to take the dog for a little walk together because then he gets so excited that mommy and daddy are out with him. I think we're going to trim this down just a little bit more. And then we will I'll probably do a little crafting, a little movie watching. So I'm just trimming off just about an 1/8 of an inch off the top and the bottom, which is just halfway between the two. I'm just eyeballing it. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then we've got this, and we just have that hint. See? That hint. That just brings it out just a little bit more. Isn't that nice? So let's go ahead and put this together. And then I think we are going to use that Stitched in Love, which is the stamp that came in the inspiration box tonight. Okay, I got to stand up to put this on because I never can do it straight otherwise. Close enough, looks good. All right, let's get this down. So obviously these cards would not have to be Christmas cards. You could make this into any color, even with these green and red and white. It wouldn't have to be a Christmas card. You could use another sentiment, happy birthday sentiment, any of those. But what I thought would be fun is I grabbed it. This is called Stitched with Love. It's the box of the, in the inspiration box, which is what the inspiration box is called. And I thought it might be fun to put one of these on here. And then, we can add a Christmas sentiment. I haven't even thought that far what Christmas sentiment is, but I have some pre-made from last week. I have some Merry Christmas to you ones in different colors. And I've just got them sitting here, so we may use some of those. Now I do want to say that you can do some, like I have this cat, this is the cat tree one. I mean, look at how you could totally just put something like this on there and make a card with that too, but that I'll use for another card. So I'm thinking we might use one of these like Merry Christmas. I mean, you could put that right in the center and you'd have a card, but I think I want to add another little something here. And I'm thinking maybe we'll do the pin cushion quick. So I did use the SVGs to cut out, to cut some out. And then I do have an SVG file on the website that shows how I do this, but I kind of will do a quick how I cut them out. But I just want to make sure do I have this done right? Okay, I'm gonna have to. Oh, do I have the wrong one? I cut the wrong. This doesn't go with this one. This was the pin cushions. We need the other one. It's a good thing. Yes. The cut turned out with the pattern. Thank you. Sometimes it's nice if you grab one of your dies and you can just, this is the one that goes with this. Okay, so I do have a video that shows how I stamp these out on our channel. There should be a playlist called SVGs. So I'm going to go ahead and I think we're going to use the green for this as well. But using your dies, if you're going to use shape dies or big dies like that to cut, if you lay them out, you can try the different patterns to see what you think you like before you cut them out. Is nice because then you can see what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that down, and then we're going to go ahead and put our image. And why I like to do it this way is that I can make sure I have the perfect edge all the way around. A lot of people are very good at being able to just put the stamp in and line it up on the stamp. I don't have good enough eyes for that. Like, I don't wear glasses, but I can't see that to save my life. So, and then I'll just pop it back in because a lot of times I'll use tape to hold it in place, but I didn't this time. So hopefully I don't make a mistake. This one section does not want to stamp, but that's because I have like a spot on my Misty that is got, I think I like pushed on it or something. All right, we're going to do one more little spot. One more. Let's get my little press tool here. Perfect press tool for my friend Treasure. See if that helps. Now I stamped this in the Stellar ink. So we could color this in as well with some inks. And I'm thinking maybe I'll do that quick with my little new turner. My dog is running up and down the stairs, but I'm not going to do super bad coloring. Super great coloring. And I mean that as in we're not going to color in all the lines and things. I'm just going to color it so like it's monochromatic colors. And I'm just going to color right over the green with this red. And we'll do the same thing. I'll just grab a couple different reds here. And I'll grab a couple different greens and we'll color it in a little bit. I've actually never colored over Stellar inks before, so it obviously works. my 10 bag is in the way from tomorrow for my next video. And then I'm going to grab a couple of green inks. Oh, Amanda, it is a pretty good stamp. I will say I really am enjoying this. My mom is a quilter, so I'm really enjoying all these quilting stamps. I think they're fun. And I think that one thing I like about it, like Walter made that great Sugar Plums Are Dancing card last night. Never thought that in my head at all until I watched his live. And like I said, I mentioned something about having get well cards. You could use this for any kind of get well cards because it's like a warm cushion and blanket and all that stuff. So I'm going to grab, there is a couple of needles here and a safety pin. So I'm going to just color it in with a light gray. And same thing with those. I'm not going to do a big thing of that. And I think just to tie in a little bit more, we're going to grab, I'm going to grab one more. Let's see. I'm going to grab the lightest red I have here that's not pink and go around the edge. I just, like I said, just got the stamp set, I think yesterday. I don't remember if it was yesterday or if it was the day before. So I really haven't even had a chance to play with it. So I'm looking forward to having some time off this next week to create a bunch of samples for you guys using this release. The stencils are amazing. You guys know I love stencils, and they're all sorts of pattern stencils. But I love how everything matches together. And then, like I said, the Timothy, not the Timothy. Is that, what is his name? Oh my gosh, why can't a TT? What is his little name? Oh my gosh, you guys. Is it Timothy? Theodore, thank you. Thank you. I blanked. Little Theodore, you know, all those little stamps, thank you, Penny, coordinate very well together too. And there's going to be some Theodore stamps coming up in the future. So if you want more to coordinate together, I would suggest picking up the ones that we have already released. So we've got that little pin cushion. We've got our little Merry Christmas. And I like that the pin cushion kind of just goes over, you know, it's just a little something extra. And I'm going to go ahead and just glue that down. I have some glue here somewhere. And I think I'm going to pop up the Merry Christmas. And like Walter said last night, I am running out of foam tape. So I need to get some. I'm going to set this heart right smack dab in the center of the quilt. And then I'm going to grab a piece of my foam tape. I have a little piece left over from another. And we'll just stick that guy down. Yes, they are so sweet. I cannot wait for more as well. Yeah, he did, isn't it? Oh, I got to look and see. I missed a comment or two. Sorry about that. Oh, you fiber crafts and stuff. Okay. I don't do any sewing really per se. I can do some like fixing like things, but I don't do a lot of sewing. I have sisters and a mother who do, but not me. Okay. So here's card number 1. And it's that new top line card. And then for card number 2, we're going to go completely different. And I'm going to use the one other stamp set that I thought would be fun to use tonight to make some Christmas cards. I do not have a plan in motion. We're just going to go for it. I'm going to get a piece of the Perfect Blend cut down, and we're going to use the patchwork pieces. This is the patchwork pieces stamp set. There are SVGs, which I did cut out. I just don't know if I'm going to use them tonight. Where are my little pieces? Here they are. There are little pieces that fit. I'm not sure which one goes with which right now because I haven't stamped any of them out. But there are SVGs that you can stamp them with and have pieces. But I'm just going to go for it and stamp it down on my paper. So let's cut down another card panel. I'm not sure what happened to the other one I had. So this is at 5 inches. So we're going to cut this down to 3.75 because that gives us a nice little, it works visually well. And we're going to make one more Christmas card with this one. But we're going to go ahead and put this right in the corner of our Misty. I need a Misty magnet. And we're going to go ahead and line up. I'm not used to my computer being on this side of my desk, so I'm trying to make sure I see the comments. I'm going to go ahead and pull them all. We're going to pull them all off. I'm not going to use them all right away, but we are going to pull them all off so they're ready to go because we are going to use them. The Theodore stamps are super adorable. And I think what I'm going to do is just line up a couple. I have a grid mat, a grid piece. Where did I put that? I have this. This is from Tailored Expressions. I know that Simon Says Stamp has one too. And I think this will be quite helpful. You can line the grid mat up. It's not the whole thing of this, but it's good enough. I'm going to put it all the way to the corner. And I'm going to go ahead and use this grid mat to line up my stamp. So that it's as straight as I can make it. And I'm going to go ahead and line up another one. I'm going to eyeball this one. No, that's not what I want to do. We may not use them all. I changed my mind. I'm thinking of my mother's quilts when I'm doing this. So we're going to use the red and green again. I'm going to rub my fingers over this a little bit. We're going to start with the bee sting tonight. We may have to stamp this more than once, just because I haven't used them yet to kind of condition them. Oops. They're a solid stamp, so they work. These, I think, would actually work, to be honest with you. They might work in the waffle flower. Some of these will work in the waffle flower postage notes. So you could make little post-it note. I'm going to go ahead and flip this around because if I do this right, it should work the way I think it's going to. We're going to stamp it down like this. All right, we're going to do it a couple of times, like I said, because I haven't, and I need to have the same kind of color. All right, that is number one. I'm going to go ahead and wipe it off. And then I'm going to grab that. And you could use, if you didn't have something like this, you could just use, I just realized that my camera is backwards tonight, guys. I'm not mirrored. If I show this, see, I'm backwards. I don't think I can fix that while we're live. So, but just for everything, nothing I'm really doing is other than the wording is going to be backwards. We're going to grab another one of these quilts, and I'm going to use one of the square ones. And my head might get in the way, but I'm going to kind of line it up as close as I can to the edge of that one. And I want to just see what this looks like. Nope, that's not what I want to do. So actually, what's probably what we're going to do. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and pull those down. And I use that to line up. I'm just going to pull that back off. I just want to see if it would look right. And then because I have this on here, I'm going to grab this 4 ink. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp it down on this, well, you can use acetate. And just look at it. And I'll bring that up so you can kind of see it. See how it lines up? It's pretty close. So I'm going to go ahead and then remove we'll wipe it off. But that tells me I had that in the right spot. So now I can go ahead and ink this up and stamp it down. And again, new stamp, so it's going to stamp a couple of times. And then I will flip it over. And since I already lined it up on the one side, when I flip it over on this side, it should line up as well. I mean, we could very easily, instead of using this as a card panel, cut that down into strips. All right. Then wipe it off again. And once again, I'm going to grab this piece. It is this, I don't, like I said, this one is from Tailored Expressions. And I know that you can buy, I think I think the Misty has one that you can buy. I think it's bigger though. And I know Simon Says Stamp has some small ones. But like I said, you could very easily use it. Doesn't, if it doesn't, you don't need the grid lines. You can just use acetate if you're just lining things up. I want to get straight. So I want to use this one with the grid lines. And I'm going to go ahead and do my best to line it up again and hope that I'm just looking at it to see if I think it needs to go over it. And then I'm not sure if that's right. But if you're using the acetate, you can stamp it down just again and kind of look and see. To me, that looks pretty close. If I'm looking at where everything lines up and matches, I think I'm in the right spot. I like it for sentiments too. Hi, Pam. How are you? We are making quilty Christmas cards tonight using some of the new release. All right. So there's that one. And then go ahead and flip it around again. And stamp it on this side. Now, I would say that if I was going to start this over, I would probably use a bigger piece of paper, because then I could do 4 different for sure and make sure they were spaced apart perfectly, and then I could cut it down. Now we're going to go with it. I'm okay with this. We can make it work. I'm just going to stick that one back up there, and we're going to go ahead and grab this acetate again, or this, whatever this is called. I'm not even sure what the name of it is called. And I'm going to line it up again. And I'm just kind of eyeballing to see if it looks like it's right. That looks like it might be right. And I'll grab my ink. Oh, thank you. I am doing well, Pam. Thank you for letting me, or for asking. Okay, so it's not quite lined up. I can tell by looking at it. It's over a little too far. So we're going to go ahead and wipe this off. It's a little far to the right. And I'm going to grab it and try it one more time. That looks better. And I think we're just going to go for that one. Yep, that looks better. All right. Stamping it down several times just to get that nice solid image, because it is a solid stamp. And then we're going to flip it over this way and do it on this side because it's already lined up. And then I am going to go for it. This alignment panels. Thank you. That's what she calls. This is alignment panels. I don't remember. I've had it a long time and I keep forgetting about it. And then I'm like, I try to keep it on my desk because I'm like, oh, I have it, especially for like sentiments. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to line up one more time because we're not exactly centered straight. We're going to line this up one more time and do it up at the top. And I'm going to move it over. I'm going to try to see if I can eyeball it enough that it looks right to me. Just a light. Oops, I used the red this time. That's okay. It's just so I can see. Yep, that looks close. Close enough. They're very handy. I think you get 2 of them, if I remember correctly. I think they're even the same, but I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, I got them a long time ago. And as I've moved craft rooms and moved around my room, I've tried it. Now I keep it on my desk. Any type of grid. I mean, I'm sure if you have your you know how to print on acetate, you could also print your own grid. But I like this one because it's nice and sturdy and easy to clean. And I didn't have to run it through and cut it off and all that stuff. It's a nice thick panel. All right. So there's that one. And then we've got to do this one more time. We're going to do it on this one. Line it up one more time. The one thing I do want to tell you is if you use one, make sure you wipe it off, because if you forget to wipe it off and then you move it, you know, you still have ink on it. You can squish things. All right. I'm thinking that's too far over. Let's go here and just see what that looks like. Something weird's happening here. Let's put this up here and see if that's what that's. I didn't put enough ink down. I think that's, let's see. Nope, it's not. I can see by the way it is, because I'm now looking at what this looks like here. And this, there's a little corner right here. That's supposed to be on that line. Once that's on that line, I should be good to go. Let's try it. That looks better. So this is where I said, you can't wait to craft again, but my craft room is, oh yes, that's, I'm with you, because I'm still getting mine in organized in order. Mom was here and she made me some nice little toppers for the tops of my cabinets to keep the dust off. So I've got some of them put up, but I still have some things to move so I can put the other ones up. We went and got fabric that matched the colors that I wanted in my craft room. And I still have a couple of sections of stuff that I don't know what to do with. So I'm trying to use some stuff up. So maybe I can have more space, get rid of the stuff. I've got a little pile. One of them boxes that I have is cut down pattern paper. So one of my things I'd love to do when I have some free time is sit down and actually make a bunch of cards using that. So, all right, so here's our pattern, and look at how great those lined up. Now, I have not looked at this at all. I'm pretty sure that this lines up on the inside of this one. You see that? I'm not going to do that tonight, but I'll play with it. And then I'm thinking some of them line up with each other. If you look at that, I mean, I'm guessing here, because I didn't see all of the live, that they do. See how they're the opposite? So you could layer them with the different colors. Maybe if we have a little bit of time at the end, we can try one, but let's make a card first. I'm going to go ahead and use that same ink that we used, or paper that we used before. And we're going to cut that down. So this I said was 3.75 by 5. Yep. So let's go to 5 1/8 is the one, by 3 is it 15/16, I think, without counting them. I think that's what it is. Yeah, you get works to personalize that. I'm not in a rush. I just so happened I was putting things away and I was dusting, Pam, and I looked up and I found one of my mom has made some like banner quilt. They're like, I don't know exactly what the title is. What are those called?
10-minute table topper.
It's a table topper. They're called 10-minute table toppers, she just said. But I have some that are holiday ones, and I found one and I'm like started to put it up, and then I was like, I called her and I'm like, hey, you're coming to see me. Would you be willing to make some of these for me for my craft room if I take you to the quilt shop? And we choose colors? And she said, sure. So, and because they don't have a lot of like quilting, I should say, and when I mean quilting, I mean like if you look at a quilt with the pattern inside, just it's mostly sewing. So she said, sure. So we did that. I set her up at the end of my table that way, which of course is opposite because my camera is backwards. So that way, and she sewed at the end, and I did some crafting and some videos and organizing. Look at that. Look at how fun that is. All right, let's grab another pre-scored. Yeah, it is nice of my mom. I love my mom's quilting stuff. Look at how great that is on the top of this card. that little extra space is beautiful. And this is one of those, I'm not sure I want to do this on the top. I'm thinking I might do this way. Now you could totally continue that pattern. You could have done it and lined it up so that they would touch each other, you know, like maybe put these two if you wanted to, but I like this like this. I like the extra white space. I'm thinking I'm actually going to stamp a sentiment on this one. It's been a good time. I think Mom's had a good time.
Yes.
So
sure.
She said, yes, she had a good time. So I know I fed her, and we're going down to have pie when we're done, you guys. So I'm going to say, just in case, thank you, Amanda. In case Miss Jess is watching this later on, she had a fundraiser earlier this year that I ended up knowing she was doing, and I bought some dip mix from her for I think it was for either the preschool or something. Anyway, something through there. And I bought some dip mix from her, and one of them was a raspberry cheesecake dip mix. And so I made raspberry cheesecake with it, and that is what we're going to have tonight. Okay, let's see. I am going to grab my favorite stamp set for this year, if I can find it. Yep, it's behind me. My favorite stamp set of this year has been the Holiday Shapes cards. And Christopher was so kind as to make sure there is an SVG file for this now. Well, I mean, there is an SVG file for this. I mean, I don't mind these. I can punch out this. I can cut out, but I didn't want to fussy cut this. And then they're for the sentiments as well. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this Merry Christmas to you because it's nice and big. We're just going to stamp it down right here. And it looks like I made it perfectly to fit, which I did. Or we'll pretend I did. So, like I said, Amanda, if I didn't say thank you, I want to say thank you. I thought it was just fun to be able to play with the new release, but yet I'm not ready for Christmas to be over. I love making Christmas cards. I could make Christmas cards all the time. I don't send enough. Now, I am challenging myself. I bought Christmas stamps this week. So I'm going to sit down and on Sunday for sure and write out some Christmas cards to people I've never sent Christmas cards to. And then, of course, this is the year I have Christmas cards pulled and ready so that as I get Christmas cards in the mail, I can make sure I mail those people a sentiment or a card as well. Awesome. Look at that. So we've got that. And now my card base is right here. Let's go ahead and add this down. And then before we end tonight, let's play with that one stamp set. I may not line it up properly, but we can do it close. Because live lining things up is so much different than lining it up when you're not. Thank you. I think that it turned out better than I expected it to turn out. So there we go. Now you could add this. You could add some gems. You could add gems to the center of each one of these. I really kind of want to go simple with this card. You could do some spray. You could add, my favorite, the ornamental gold, because it is a Christmas card. I tend to like bling. But here's our two cards we made tonight using the new release and for Christmas cards. And like I said, I'm sorry we're backwards. Let me see if I can fix that quick, okay? Let's switch my camera around. You can look at my beautiful face. Let's see if I can fix that. Settings, because I forgot it was mirrored, and I usually turn that off right away. All right, that should be better. All right. It switched. Yay, except that I also put it at an angle. Yay, yay, yay. Let's turn it up this way. You want to look at my desk. You don't want to look at my legs. There we go. So here's our cards. Let me go grab, let's try this first. We're going to grab a piece of paper here. And of course I pulled them all off. So let's line them up here quick. Let's try this one. Let's see. I think that's this one. So I'm going to stamp this one out first. And we're going to do, thanks, Penny. I'm going to stamp it out in red first. I'm going to do a couple because, like I said, I haven't inked this up yet. And then wipe that off so I don't get ink on my fingers. And then we're going to grab that handy dandy little piece of acetate here. Oh, we got to move this out of the way. This is the piece, like I said, let's see, this one goes here. This one goes here. Making sure I line them up right. So then it was that one. So it's the ones next to each other. So we're going to grab this one, which is the one right next to it. And I'm going to, sorry if my head gets, is this the right one? Did I do that right? I didn't grab the right one, did I? Yeah, I thought maybe I'm crazy. This is the only one I think that maybe doesn't. Does it? This one doesn't, but the other two do. Don't they line up? Okay, let's try a different one. Experiment, guys. That's what we like to do in card making. And you know me, I like to try things when I'm live for you guys. We're going to try these two. Let's try these two. I think these two in my head look right. That's the only way you're going to know. I may be wrong, because I'm not always pattern oriented until I put them on top of each other. All right, so now I'm going to take this one. Nope. But it's going to be cute anyway. I'm going to do it anyway. Okay. Line it up like that. Take the acetate off of it. And I'm just going to grab a little bit lighter ink. We're going to go, oh, not that one. Let's get Stupid Cupid. Let's just check and see what this looks like. I'm curious. Oh my gosh, I love it. All right, now I'll show this to you. So if I'd stamped it the other way first, but look at how they layered cool on top of each other. Now I didn't get it up lined up perfectly, but it did go inside some of that. So experiment and see. Use a couple different light colors, like maybe use an orange and a yellow, lighter colors, or a yellow and a blue, and see what lines up and what overlaps. But I'm like, isn't that cool? Look at that. Okay, so we're going to tie things up for the night, but I wanted to show you some of my cards from the advent calendar. So if you are not an advent calendar person that hasn't opened any, you want to stop watching or close your eyes. So I've been keeping everything in my box, and I don't want to share too many. Those are for this later this week. Okay. I don't know if I have them in numerical order. I'll try to see if I can do them in numerical order. But if you've been wondering what was in the box. Okay, so day one was a glitter stock pack. And I made this card using the poppy stamp set, or the poppy die and the glitter stock. So I'm just kind of waiting for the computer. I know I'm ahead. It's here so a little bit. So there we go. Computer's catching up here. So here's day one. That was glitter stock. Day two was this adorable ugly sweater stamp set with a Knit Happens, Express the Ugly. And this was the paper bag that it came in. This is the winter weave stencil. And then this was just a die for my stash. So there's day two. Day three, oh, I don't have my, I'm missing one. Day three was this washi tape, and I think there might be different washi. Anne-Marie, that is part of my plan tonight, or this year, is to make some more simpler type cards using this box and limited supplies. I'm trying not to pull lots of things other than sentiments. Sentiments might be. This was the paper that the washi tape came in for the bag, so that worked well. It is a raspberry cheesecake pie. Now I'm missing one, so let's see if I can find it real quick. I'm missing my shaker card, you guys, and that was one of my favorites. Oh, there it is. So day four was a shaker mix, and it's not on a card base yet. But I used a Christmas tree die for my stash. This is the same pattern paper. And then I used a couple of the gems. So this was day four. Day 5 was, ooh, I might have these backwards, okay? I think day 5 was the stencil, and I ink blended on it, and then I traced it and cut it out. A shaker card, yes. See if you shake it. It's hard to see, you know, but all the, does that make sense? Did I say that wrong? It's a shaker card, yeah. So all the little bits and pieces are inside the tree. Thank you. And then day 6 was this other little elf stamp. It says, have your elf a merry little Christmas. This is the same paper pad that I've been using. However, I used a postage stamp die for my stash, and then I added some, and it's gonna be hard to see. I stamped over the whole thing with embossing powder and added fairy dust. Kind of see it right there. The day 1 and 4 sentiment fonts are from the same, this is my favorite stamp set, the Holiday Shapes, Pam. And then I think there is one here too on the ornament builder that has the same font. I love it. I've been really, really like it. Oh, Kate, yes. Okay, and then today's cards, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right, were these slimline cards because there was this, this is Post-it notes. And I added some double-sided adhesive. This is the same paper, but this is a different paper. And then I grabbed some different sentiments and some stickles to make some mini slimline cards. So that is all that's available for right now. If you want to check them out on my channel. I have the next couple of days ready to go. Well, they're not ready to go. I have to upload them tonight yet when we're done. But I thank you guys for joining me. I hope you all have a very, very Merry Christmas. I will see you after Christmas. If those of you who celebrate Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah. I don't know what night we're on, but I know Hanukkah is in going on right now. So thank you. Thank you very much. And here's the cards we made tonight. And I will see you guys next week after Christmas. I can't wait for you guys to all join me and tell me all your fun Christmas gifts you got. I want to hear all about the crafty Christmas gifts. See if there's something I need to go get. Yes, enjoy your holidays. Thank you, guys. Bye now.